We're going to start our practice with some breathing this morning, just to create a bit of balance through the system, to redirect energy. And when we control the breath, it's a great way to invite a kind of stillness, a sense of control. The breath is always there and it's a big part of our practice, but sometimes we are unaware of our breathing patterns. We're going to practice something called square breath, and there's a ratio of 4 counts, and there's a little hold in between each breath. If the count of 4 is too much, just reduce it down to 3 or 2 even, but keep the count the same for each part, so you're creating that little square. So I'll guide us through 4, but if you need to change that, please do. So just taking a few breaths in and out through the nose. Just deep, full breaths, one more. And then on your next inhale, breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hold the breath at the top, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hold the breath, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more round. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hold the breath for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just release. Come to a normal breathing rhythm, a gentle rhythm. Just an easy breath in, easy breath. Notice what feels good about your breath. How does it make you feel when you concentrate and control the breath? And before we begin to find a little bit of movement, just invite an intention or a focus or something you want to bring your awareness to throughout your practice today. It's always quite nice to have something that we can come back to that drives our practice, and it might simply be, I want to feel open, I want to release tension, I want to feel relaxed. Whatever it might be, it's personal to you, but as we move through the practice, maybe you come back to that little focus to kind of keep you directed and present. So just repeat that a few times, and then we'll slowly just start to find a little bit of movement through the fingers and toes. Just start to shift a little bit. Feel free to bend the knees, rock a little bit side to side, stretch the arms up overhead, whatever feels good for you right now, and let that kind of come into the body. And just really maybe take some big wide stretches. If you want to stretch the legs up, give the ankles a little roll, open them wide, maybe you hug into a ball. So no set pattern here, and then eventually you'll bring the knees to the chest. And just give yourself a gentle squeeze with the hands on the knees. Just bring the back of the head down towards the ground. And we're going to practice Apanasana, or wind relieving posture. It's a great way to massage the abdominal muscles, to kind of get things moving and shifting. So taking hold of the knees with the hands, so you can then allow the knees to push back, the arms straighten, but you've kind of caught the knees in your hands. And as you breathe out, there's a natural rising of the belly, and maybe the legs just gently push out a little bit more. And then as you exhale, you draw the knees, the thighs into the chest. Inhale, the knees push away, but you're keeping them in your hands. Exhale, draw the knees in. Inhale, there's a natural expansion. The legs move away, holding the knees in the hands. Exhale, draw the knees in. And really squeeze the muscles there. And inhale, let them all relax, expand out like a big balloon. The arms stretch a little, and then exhale, pull it down. The lower back rolls off a little bit, and then inhale, the knees move away. Exhale, we draw it in. So it's a very gentle movement. It's not too intense. Nice. This is a really nice one to do if you're feeling a bit sluggish or if you're feeling a bit heavy. Lovely. So one more wherever we are. Inhaling, legs away. And then exhale, draw them in. Nice. And then take the arms wide. We're just going to drop the knees now over to the right side. Little supine twist. Again, twists are always great for opening up the spine, getting some spinal movement, but also again for massaging the abdominal muscles through the back and the front. Inhale, draw the knees up through center, keep the feet together, and then take it over to the left. Shoulders are relaxed, face is relaxed. Breathing deeply into the rib cage. Really expanding the breath throughout the body. Doesn't really matter when we're breathing on the movement, just as long as we're breathing in and out, the breath doesn't stop. And then come back through center. And then place the feet on the ground, just about hip width apart. And we're just going to practice something called a pelvic tilt. And it really encourages us to engage with the lower abdominal muscles, or in yoga, we call it our mula bandha, the deep part of our core, let's call it that, like the kind of Kegel pelvic area. And just place your hands, if you're going to have them on your hips, but just where the bone begins to meet. And the feet are planted on the ground. And as we inhale, the belly expands, and there's a natural curve of the spine as you inhale. And you'll notice the pelvic tilts down, pressing into the ground. And then as you exhale, draw the belly button down, tilt the pelvis up, tucking the tailbone. So then everything engages together. And you should feel that through the pelvic area and the lower abdominals. Inhale, relax, there's a natural curve. And the pelvis tilts down, pushing into the tailbone, now pushes into the ground. And then as we exhale, we tuck the tailbone, tilt the pelvis, and you notice the hips kind of roll up and back and down towards the ribs. Inhale to lift. Let the belly expand, that natural curve under the back. You should be able to put your hands behind, underneath you quite comfortably. And then exhale, draw it down, and then tuck the tailbone, the pelvis draws down. And then you should feel the muscles engage. Inhale again. Gentle tilt of the pelvis, and then exhale, draw it down. Tailbone tucks, and we should feel that engagement there. And then just release. And then again, just drop the knees over to the right. And then gently over to the left. Lovely. So when we think about drawing up and into the core in yoga, it's coming from this lower deep part of the core muscles. There's an engagement right from the very root all the way up through the abdominal walls. So there's always that gentle engagement. Inhale, come back through to center. Take hold of the back of the legs, and feel free to just kind of gently rock and roll if that feels good up the spine, or you can just roll over to one side. But we're going to make our way up to a seat now. So coming all the way up through to a cross leg. And I invite you to change the cross of your legs so you're not having the kind of usual pattern. So for me, my left leg's usually in front. So I'm going to bring it and swap it over. And then take the hands to the knees. Just kind of give yourself a nice move through the shoulders, maybe the neck, just kind of anything that feels good. And then we come back to the knees. So we're going to take some seated cat-cows, and we're going to think about, again, moving from the center of the body. So again, you might already feel that gentle lifting up from the sitting bones, kind of that engagement through the front body, the back body, the spine's nice and long. We're going to inhale, draw the chest forward, lift the chin, cat and cow in a seat, and then exhale, rounding through, catch the hands with the knees, and then inhale, come forward. Lovely. Exhale to round, chin to chest, and then inhale. So start to move with your breath. Maybe you kind of find your own little rhythm. It doesn't have to be at the same pace I'm going, as long as you're breathing and moving. Maybe you close the eyes. Really feel the shoulder blades squeezing as you draw forward, and exhale, pressing and rounding them away. And then as we come forward on our next inhale, wherever that is, start to take some circles. So imagine you're moving from your belly button, and we start to take circles through the spine, engaging that forward extension, and then exhale, flexing, really getting into the shoulders, and then maybe changing the direction. So again, we're moving the spine in different ways. It's really nice to open the spine, free the spine, and the more movement we have in the spine, the more mobile we are. We can move more freely with our legs and our arms. Maybe you just want to go side to side, or maybe you're just really enjoying the circles. Just a couple more wherever you are. And I always say invite a closing of the eyes, because it just sometimes really going for it, we get a bit shy maybe, but you know, we're at home, nobody else can see us, so it's all good. And then come back through center. Nice. So we're going to move on to all fours now. Just take any final other movements that you feel you want to, a roll of the wrists, opening of the chest, and then we'll make our way onto all fours. So even through our transitions, notice how your body's moving. How do you want to move? You know, sometimes we rush through things and we don't notice different ways of moving. So even just coming from seated to all fours, how are you moving? What's engaged? What isn't engaged? And can we be mindful of that as well? So wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, nice hip width apart, strong base here. And we're going to tuck the toes. Imagine you're drawing that belly in towards the spine, you're tucking the tailbone down and engaging through that root, that pelvic area. And then we press away with the shoulders. We're just going to do some knee raises. So this again just brings a little bit of inner strength to our practice. So we always move from the center. So as we inhale, we're going to just press into the hands and lift the knees and hover here in tabletop. Press into the toes, draw the belly up. Notice if you're sinking in the shoulders, can you press away and draw the belly, engage. So if I was to come and press down on you, you'd be really strong. And then just lower the knees, sit back into child's pose, snuggle the sitting bones down, and then just flip the palms up. You can just come onto the forearm, maybe give the wrists a little massage, just to soften there. And then come back through to all fours. We're going to do that again. So tuck the toes, engage through the center of the body. So we're always engaging the back body, the front body, the side body. And then as we inhale, lift, press into the hands, spread the fingers as wide as you can to get a strong base, a strong foundation, and press into the toes, hovering here, draw the belly up, Lovely neutral neck, just looking down between the hands. Use your breath. Maybe this is where the exhale comes out of the mouth. Deep, deep breathing, almost like the ocean, and then just release down. Again, take another child's pose and flip the palms. Again, give the wrists a little massage. Nice. And we're going to do it one more time. So coming back through to all fours, press into the hands, tuck the toes, engage the whole body, and then inhale, hovering with the knees. Really strong here. We're engaging the sides of the shoulders, relax the scapulars, the front body, engaging through the glutes. What happens if you switch the glutes on and the hamstrings and the quads, and then relax them, and it's just the belly? So playing with switching on different parts of the body, and then exhale, release. This time we're just going to walk the hands out, and we're going to come all the way down onto the belly. Lovely. Take the hands by the sides of the rib cage, press into the tops of the feet, foreheads down as we inhale, lift up little cobra. Always engage the glutes, it helps the lower back. Exhale, release. Lovely. Take the arms a little bit wider, coming up onto the fingertips as we inhale, lift up a little bit of a wider cobra here. Chin's the last thing to release, and then exhale, lower everything down. Lovely. Bring the hands under the shoulders and near the rib cage, tuck the toes, chin to chest as we push up and round all the way through to a child's pose. Forehead on the ground, arms out, stretched in front. We're going to move through some spinal flows here, so we'll take it really slowly. So as we inhale, tuck the chin to the chest, imagine you're rounding up through the spine, and then we drop the hips down, coming all the way to the belly. Exhale. Inhale, we lift to a cobra, and then exhale, we release again. And then as we inhale, we press into the hands, chin to chest as we round all the way back through into a child's pose, and then exhale, soften here. On an inhale, reach forward with the hands. We inhale, round through the spine, dropping the hips, and then dropping the belly all the way to the chest, forehead, exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, chin to chest as we press up and round ourselves all the way back through to child's pose. Lovely. One last time. Inhale, pull the fingertips forward, chin to chest as we round through. Drop the shoulders away from the ears as we lower the hips, then the belly, then the chest. Shoulders away from the ears, forehead down. Inhale, we lift to a cobra. Exhale, we lower. And we're going to come all the way up this time to all fours. So press yourself up to all fours. Keep the hands out in front of you a little bit, not too much, but keep the hips over the knees. And we're slowly going to bring ourselves down onto our forearms, maybe onto our forehead, puppy posture or melting heart. So allow the shoulder blades to move down the back. Keep the hips over the knees so you're kind of sticking your bum up in the air. And then we lower down onto the forehead. So imagine you're bringing your chest to the ground. If that's too much, maybe you're just on the forearms, but imagine you're lengthening out through the armpits, pressing the shoulders, drawing them down your back, and relaxing through the top of the back. The belly's heavy here. Lovely. And then on an inhale, press into the forearms as you begin to shift yourself forward, coming back up onto the hands, coming into all fours. And we're going to come to our first downward facing dog. So really spread the hands as wide as you can, almost really creating as much space, and press into the fingerprints, all 5 knuckle points, tuck the toes, sit back towards the heels, chin to chest as we lift the knees up. Hips rise up. And again, just in that, like that puppy posture, we're lengthening out through the arms, thinking about bringing our hips up towards the ceiling. So there's a gentle bend in the knees maybe. Just look at your elbow creases. They should be kind of looking in towards each other. Can you roll them in and then out and away from each other? And that engages the sides of the shoulders, the scapula and the lats. And then really press out through the arms. Imagine you're being lengthened in the spine rather than bringing the heels to the ground. So there's a little bend in the knees. Maybe we're up on the toes. Maybe you're beginning to walk the dog, so maybe bending and straightening one leg, just kind of bumping the hips a little bit side to side. It's a strong posture, down dog. A lot of people say, and take a rest here, but actually it's a very active, strength building posture, especially for the shoulders. And then gaze forward, we're going to walk ourselves up to a forward fold. So keeping the feet hip width apart, or you can bring the toes together, it's up to you. But rest the belly on the thighs, let the head be heavy, relax the arms. Just give yourself a little shake if you need to kind of engage that sense of letting go. And then bend the knees, roll yourself all the way up to a standing. Bring the arms out and up, big, big stretch. Big exhale as you bring the hands down through center. Lovely. So coming into our mountain posture. So really, again, engaging through the feet, spreading the toes as wide as you can. Get just a gentle bend in the knees. We don't lock the legs out. There's a gentle softness in the knees, but a strength as we lift up through the legs, engaging through that mula bandha, that pelvic area. The belly's gently engaged, the shoulders are relaxed and down the back, and the hands are by the side of the body. So we're standing up tall and long. Notice if we're shifting one way into one foot, we have, again, habits of how we stand and walk. We might naturally sink into one hip. So if we can begin to feel and adjust, and it might feel odd when you stand up straight and even, because we're used to being in certain positions, so it feels odd when we're corrected. It's like going to the osteopath or a physio and then they correct you. It's like, oh, that, I know it's normal, but it doesn't feel normal because I'm used to being a bit wonky. But anyway, I digress. So bringing the toes together, standing in mountain posture, just feeling the breath, feeling really strong here, really grounded. We're going to inhale, rise up with the arms. Exhale, bend the knees, float it all the way down to a forward fold. So we're going to move through some sun salutations here, and they'll be the same on each leg, so really repetitive. Inhale, lift up halfway, maybe you bring the hands to the thighs. Exhale, we release, step the right foot back, drop the knee down, and then inhale, reach the arms, reach the arms up. Lovely. Look up towards the ceiling. Feel free to sink a little bit into that hip if you want to, but engage through the center. So imagine moving from your core. And then exhale, we frame the foot and we step back to a plank. Lower the knees all the way to the belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes, pushing up through to all fours, and then up to downward facing dog. One breath here. You can exhale through the mouth. And then we step through with the right, drop the left down, inhale, reach up, low lunge again, crescent moon. Holding here again, you can sink into that front hip if you want to, but remember to keep that length through, try not to collapse into the sitting bones. And then exhale, frame the foot, and we step up to meet in a forward fold. So just soften here, over the legs. And then we inhale, bring the arms out, come all the way up to standing. So that's one round on the right leg. Exhale, we're going to move through the left side now as we fold all the way down. Inhale, we bring us up halfway. Exhale, we release. Inhale, step the left foot back, drop the knee. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, frame the foot, step back to plank. Here we lower the knees, chest, belly, inhale, cobra. And exhale, we lower back down. Inhale, press up through to all fours, sit back towards the heels, lift up, downward facing dog. Exhale, release. And then we step through with an inhale with the left leg. Drop the right knee down, inhale, reach up. Exhale, we frame the front foot. And then we lift the back knee and we come back to a forward fold. Exhaling over the legs. Nice. And then inhale, coming all the way up. And that's round 2 on the left leg. Exhale, we float all the way back down. So we're going to move back to the right leg now. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, step the right foot back. Drop the knee down. Inhale, reach up. Lovely. Engage the glutes a little bit. Exhale, frame that front foot. Lovely. Step back to plank. Hold here and then lower the knees. Shift through onto the belly and then inhale, lifting the chest, cobra. Exhale, release. Nice. Tuck the toes, press back through to all fours and then lift up, downward facing dog. Again, hips high, press out through the hands, lengthen through the armpits. Nice. Imagine you're working the chest back towards the thighs, but you want to be engaged through the shoulders as well. So you're not just kind of collapsing. There's still a strength here. And then inhale, step through with the right. Drop the left knee. Inhale, come all the way up with the arms. It's okay if we're in a bit more of a box stretch, but then if you want to, you can sink down into that hip, and that just lengthens the hip flexor of the back leg, and that can be a really nice stretch. But obviously we don't want to be just collapsing here. We still want a bit of engagement through the center of the body. Exhale, frame the foot. Lift the back leg, inhale as we step through to the forward fold, and exhale, release. And then we inhale, reach all the way up, big stretch. Exhale, bring the hands down and we float all the way back down to forward fold. This time with the left leg we lead. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, release, step back with the left leg. This is our last round. Inhale, reach all the way up. Get some nice space from the arms and the ears. So try not to be so close. Can we open the arms away a little bit? Almost like we're holding a big, kind of big ball, a big exercise ball in our hands. And then exhale, frame the foot. Lift the back leg, step back to plank. Lower the knees and then lower the chest. And then inhale, belly. And we lift cobra. Exhale, we release. And this time, push up all the way to all fours. Sit back towards the heels. Lift up, downward facing dog. Lovely. Press the shoulders away from each other. Lift the hips, gentle bend in the knees. On an inhale, step through with the left. Drop the right knee down. Inhale, rise up. You can untuck the back toe if that feels good. Nice. Again, sink into that front hip if you want to, but still keep that engagement through the glutes, the hamstrings. Notice if you just relax those muscles, there can be an instability. We want to be stable. And then exhale, frame the foot. But rather than meeting the back foot up to forward fold, we're going to lift the back leg. We're going to step the left foot back to meet the right. And then we're just going to drop the knees wide. Take the big toes to touch and just take a nice child's pose. So I like to come back onto my heels and then lower my chest down. It's quite a nice way to really get that heel to sitting bone connection, and then we can lower the chest. And take a few breaths here to just let yourself settle down. Notice how the breath is feeling in the body. Does it feel quite quick and fast? A bit erratic? Can you slow it down? Maybe come back to that count we were practicing at the beginning. Maybe you just count the breath in and count the breath out. Don't need to hold it. Maybe just counting in for 2, out for 2. Child's pose is a really nice one to come back to just ground and soften. So we'll take a few more breaths here. Just enjoying this moment of stillness. Staying for another exhale. And then on your inhale, begin to come up to all fours. Bring the knees back underneath the hip points, sit back towards the heels. And then we're going to inhale, lift up to downward facing dog. Again, just spread the hands, press out through the armpits, roll the shoulder blades out and away from each other, lift the hips, draw the belly in, really nice, strong downward facing dog. Play with being engaged and then relaxing all the muscles and just noticing when you kind of don't stabilize the elbows or the shoulders or the hips, that everything kind of becomes a bit floppy. But then when you engage and you activate and stabilize the joints, you can be a little bit stronger. And then we'll gently just walk ourselves up to a forward fold. Hang heavy here. You can have the feet hip width apart if that feels nice. And then we'll inhale, bring ourselves up to standing. Lovely. Exhale, bring the hands down, press the thumbs into the sternum. Just take a moment here, close the eyes. Trust that you are where you are meant to be, that you are grounded through the feet. See if you can get that little softness through the knees, that engagement through the legs, up through to the pelvis, the core muscles. Shoulders are dropped down, but they're engaged across the back body. Lovely. So we're going to move through 2 rounds of a standing sequence. There'll be a little bit static, which is traditional Hatha style. So there won't be too much vinyasa. That was our flow to get the heart rate going. So grounding down into the left foot, we're going to start with the right foot. So bring your weight into the left leg, so feeling all those muscles engaged, and a gentle rising up onto the right toes. So all our weights now into our left leg. And we're going to inhale, lift the right knee up, so engage the glutes. Immediately that standing glute switches on. And then we're going to inhale, press that foot back. And then we're going to bring the toe down, coming into a high lunge. So trust, try not to look back. Trust that your foot is where it's meant to be. Trust that it will get there. And then inhale, reach the arms up. So rather than just sinking into the lunge here, see if you can lift up out of your hips a little bit, press out through the back foot, engage the glutes, the core muscles, and then bend into that front leg. So rather than just collapsing in the hips and being all kind of soft, there's a strong activeness. But the face and shoulders are soft, the legs are working really hard. Lovely. And then we're going to inhale, reach the arms away, begin to twist open towards the right side of your mat. So your right toes, I'm just going to swap around so you can see. Your right toes now turn out and they're parallel with the back edge of your mat. Your left toes are still facing forward and your torso is now directed towards the right long edge of your mat. So we're in Warrior 2. So just take a moment to notice the change in your legs. There's an outward rotation of the right hip and our left hip is facing forward. So there's an opposite and opposing motion, and then bend into that that left standing leg. Press out through the sides of the right leg, reach the arms away from each other, and we look over the left fingertips. We're soft through the shoulders and face, but from the waist down, we're strong and rooted. This is quite a strong posture. Even just bending further forward. So even if you're slightly straight in the front leg, that's fine. We're working towards dropping the hips down, but we're still engaged. Lovely. And then reach forward with the left hand. Imagine you're reaching towards the front of the room. And then we're going to flip the palm and we're going to reverse it all the way back. Straighten that left leg. Drop the right fingertips down the side of the right thigh, and we come to peaceful warrior or reverse warrior. And we're stretching through the side body here. So this is a really nice stretch to get into the armpits, the rib cage. It's different if we bend the leg, but we're still, so have a play with bending that leg, but we're still bending back and then straightening the leg. Lovely. And then we're going to come forward, bend into that left leg, Bring the left elbow, forearm down towards the left thigh and reach the right arm up and over. So you might need to shorten your stance if you're finding you're kind of really tensing here. Soften the face. Try not to collapse into that left arm. Can you get a lift and engagement through the center of the body? Yeah, noticing if the legs are burning a little bit here, just come out of it, give the legs a little shake, and then you can bend back down and then take it again. My legs are shaking, I'm with you there. Sometimes it's nice to take an arm roll when we're in side angle, kind of drawing it forwards and then back. That's a nice rotation for the shoulder, and it encourages us to open the shoulder. So notice if we're leaning forward, can we open the shoulder back? Lovely. And then inhale, come all the way back. One last peaceful warrior, straighten the leg. It should feel like a nice release. Lovely. And then we're going to start to turn back towards our front leg, coming back into that high lunge. Bring our hands down to frame that front foot. Bring the right hand down to the ground. We're going to twist open towards the left. So left fingertips towards the ceiling. So we're on the back toes, planted into the front foot. Lovely twist here. And then exhale, bring the hand down. We're going to move through one little vinyasa. So just drop the knees, drop the belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes, press back through all fours. And then we lift up, downward facing dog. Just one breath here. Exhale, soften. And then we make our way up to a forward fold. And then we inhale, we come all the way back up to standing. Lovely, bring the hands down through center. Hands at the heart, pressing the thumbs into the sternum again, just close the eyes. Notice the difference between the left and right leg. How does the breath feel? How are your thoughts? Was there an urge to kind of come out of the postures, to rush through it? So we're going to come to the right leg now. So grounding into the right foot. So take the weight into the right foot, come up onto the left toes. So you feel that engagement through the right body. And then we lift the left leg up. So playing with that balance and that stability, engaging through that mula bandha, that lower part of our core. And then we'll begin to press that foot back. Try not to look down. Press the foot back and coming into that high lunge. So trust that your foot will get you there. Trust your body. Inhale, reach the arms up. Lovely. Maybe there's a smile on the face. We're having a bit of fun. We're playing. Again, the shoulders are not too close to the ears. There's a nice space between the shoulders and the ears. Lovely. And just like we did before, we're going to start to rotate, opening to the left, dropping the left heel down now. The toes turn out. We're in the parallel, the back edge and the side of the back foot are parallel to each other, and we're bending into the front standing leg. So again, our left thigh is rotating outwards, and we have an inner rotation across our our right hip. Lovely. And our torso is slightly now facing the left. So we're not looking forward, we're kind of more of a kind of diagonal. And then we reach the arms away, soften them down the shoulders, down the back, and then look over the right fingers. Notice if we're kind of leaning forward or back, can we stack the head over the heart over the hips? So we're in a nice long line. Beautiful. And again, if you just need to take a little break, you can just straighten the legs, release the arms, and then come back into it. So in Hatha Yoga, we are more static. We hold postures. We connect to the breath. So use your inhale and exhale. Ground into the breath. Imagine it's an ocean. Inhale, reach forward, bend into that front leg. We're going to scoop our arm all the way back, straightening that front leg. Peaceful warrior, reverse warrior, reverse triangle. Play with bending that front leg and keeping the stretch. How does that feel? Keep pressing out through the back foot. Try not to sink into the hips. Nice engagement through the pelvic area. Sometimes just placing your hand beneath the belly button kind of encourages you to switch on here, or wherever you feel like you want to engage. A physical touch kind of directs our attention and energy there. Lovely. Begin to bend that leg as we inhale. Rest the arm on the thigh and then reach the left fingertips away, either across the ear or up towards the ceiling. Again, if you need a rest, just shake the legs and then come back. Try not to collapse here. Engage the belly, lift a little bit so that if you were to take your right arm away, you would still be in this diagonal shape. So it's a really strong posture. Lovely. Take some circles of the shoulder of the arm one way and then the other. Think about opening the chest, rolling the shoulder back rather than collapsing forward. Lovely. Inhale, bend into that leg as you flip it back over. Take it to Peaceful Warrior, straighten the front leg, leaning back, stretching through the rib cage. Lovely. You can look up towards the hand or down towards the ground. And then slowly begin to turn towards the front of the mat. Come back up onto the back toes. Frame the front foot coming into that lunge. Ground into the left hand. If you need to drop the back knee, you can. And then twist open to the right. Right fingertips towards the ceiling. Draw the right hip back. So you should feel that stretch in the inner hip and thigh. Lovely. And then exhale, bring the hand down. Again, step back to plank. Drop the knees down, lower to the belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower down. Lovely. So staying on the belly, bring the forehead to the ground, bring the arms down by your side, just let the shoulders round. Press into the tops of the feet, draw the belly in. So if you were to bring your hands towards your belly, you could almost squeeze them underneath you. So we're engaging, pressing into the hip bones. And we're going to inhale, roll the shoulders away as we lift the chest, maybe lift the arms, half locust here. It's a very small movement. You might engage the back muscles here, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, lower down. This time, press into the forehead, press into the hip bones, draw the belly in, engage the back body. Inhale, lift the lower body off. So lift the shins, the thighs, squeeze the glutes, feel the back muscles working. So this is back locust, lower locust, and then exhale, lower down. And we're going to put those two movements together. This is the only little bit of strength we're doing. So as we inhale, press down into everything. As we lift up, imagine you're flying. And with the breath, you find that there's almost like a gentle kind of lifting and lowering. Maybe point the toes, flex them, spread the hands wide. Imagine you're flying and then just lower it down. Let everything be relaxed here. Just completely let go. Belly soft, shoulders soft. No holding on here. Lovely. And then just gently bring the hands under the shoulders, coming back up through to all fours, really gently taking the knees into the middle of the mat. And then we just sit over to one side and we'll come into a seat. Good job, guys. Really strong. So if you have a blanket or anything, it might be quite nice to sit your sitting bones up onto it. It just kind of lifts everything a little bit. And also it's just nice to make things more comfortable. Draw the toes towards you. Nice bend in the knees. We don't need to be pulling too much. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Big, big stretch. And imagine you're lifting your ball that we've been holding here all the way up and over. So there's an extension up and out of the sitting bones over towards the feet. And then we just let the hands fall wherever they fall. The knees are bent generously. The toes are flexed. And we're thinking about keeping the spine long. So if we're here, maybe we're here. It's not about how deep you can go, but as long as you're feeling that extension across the back body. Lovely. And maybe we begin to, in time, we can start to kind of straighten the knees. But many of us are quite tight through the calves, the hamstrings. We're quite tight through the hips. Inhaling, you lift, exhale, maybe you just fold a bit deeper. Use the exhale, the releasing breath, the natural softening of the body. And then maybe you just release the chin, release the back of the neck. Notice if that's being crunched. Maybe you just give it a little massage here, just to kind of soften all those wonderful muscles and joints and ligaments that hold our neck up. Maybe we're holding the toes. And then allow yourself to completely fold. So just completely relax the ankles, the knees, just soften, let the back round, not holding on here. The belly is soft. Lovely. And then we'll gently just begin to roll ourselves up. Lovely. I think I say lovely more times in my yoga classes than I do at any other point throughout the week. I've noticed it's a lovely big habit of mine. I need to find a new word. So I've just changed so you can see. So bringing your left foot in towards your thigh, just take your right leg out a little bit to the side. So just going to open up the front of the hips a little bit. And we're going to take half butterfly. So again, lifting up through the chest, through the spine, begin to kind of feel yourself inch forward a little bit, and maybe we walk the hands out. So again, it's not about kind of how far can I get down to the ground. Some people are more naturally flexible, some people are more naturally tight. It doesn't mean that the pose is any less or any more, as long as you feel the benefits. So someone who might be hypermobile might be able to get their chest down to the ground, but they're feeling none of the benefits of the stretch. And that's what we want. We don't want to be forcing ourselves. So something might force themselves further and actually cause a tear or a strain. Because although we're stretching the muscles, they're still putting stress on them. They're still going to hope, you know, they might be sore the next day. Muscles, you know, stretch and lengthen and then shorten, regardless if you've done a weight exercise or if you're doing stretching. So it's more about easing ourselves into the posture. So flex the right toes towards you. Maybe there's a gentle bend in that knee if you need to. And we're just folding forward, but we're trying to keep the back long. Maybe you begin to feel it across the back of the glutes, the front of the hips, and then maybe in time, maybe you can come to the forearms. Just notice if again you're crunching through the back of the neck, and you just soften that out, maybe give it a little shake. Lovely. And then slowly coming back up. We're just going to inhale, turn over towards the left leg, take the right hand to the knee and just gently twist through the spine here, drawing the belly in as we lift and twist. Imagine you're taking your rib cage and lifting it up and over. So the twist doesn't come from the hips, it comes from the center of the body, the thoracic part where our shoulders are and the rib cage is. Lovely. And then we come back through center. So just gently bring the right leg in, take the left leg out. So again, just taking it out to the side a little bit. So we're just opening the hips. Flex the left toes towards you, little bend in the legs. We're engaging through that leg and then looking forward. And again, lifting, inhale. And then exhale is the natural softening and lowering of the body. And maybe we're here. And maybe just inching forward from the hips is enough to engage that inner thigh stretch, maybe a little bit of the top of the thigh, the back. And maybe with each exhale, we go a little bit deeper, the hands walk out a little bit further. Again, notice if the neck is tight, the face is clenched. Softening, softening. You might close the eyes to really tune in. And again, notice if there's any sense of wanting to move on to the next thing. Right, I've done this one, right, what's next? Just enjoy this stretch right now. This is all that we're doing right now, is this stretch. Maybe you find that as you enjoy the posture, you go a little bit deeper, but you're not forcing yourself, you're not rushing, you're not pushing. In yoga, we talk about steady and ease, strong and soft. So within the strength, there's a softness and an ease. Slowly begin to come back up. Turn your gaze over towards the right leg, bring the left hand to the knee, and then just gently inhale, lift up through and then twist. Maybe the gaze follows the twist of the chest and the ribs. Keeping the left toes flexed, give them a little wiggle. And then we'll gently come back through to the center. We're going to come onto our back. So just gently bring both knees up. Have a blanket to hand, just so when we're ready for our Shavasana, we've got it there. So coming up and then lower ourselves all the way down. Bring the knees into the chest, lovely squeeze here. Just rock a little bit side to side. Nice. And then bring the feet down. Place the palms next to you. Just snuggle the shoulders underneath the chest. Draw the belly down. And as we inhale, press into the feet and begin to lift the hips up, coming into a gentle bridge. There's a soft engagement again through the legs, but we're just more thinking about opening the front body. Maybe you reach the arms overhead as a little stretch for the shoulders and the armpits. Just holding here for 2 more breaths. Soft face. Softening the breath, slowing the breath down. And then on your exhale, lower the vertebrae bit by bit by bit. Keep the arms overhead and just feel that length through the front body. Take the soles of the feet together and open the knees wide, coming into reclined butterfly. And then just gently slide the elbows, bending, and take a kind of wide armed stretch with the top of the arms. So you've kind of bent the arms into this kind of cactus shape. The soles of the feet are together, the knees are wide. There's a little lift through the back body, a nice curve, really nice opening posture. Let the belly expand, the rib cage expand. Begin to let the muscles relax. Now we don't have to be tensing anything or tightening. We can completely let them go. Lovely. Nice. And then from here, just gently bring the arms down, hands to the sides of the thighs, draw the legs in. Here, I invite you to take any final movement that you want, maybe a full body stretch, maybe some twists, maybe a happy baby, anything that you feel you need to do. Maybe you just want to straighten the legs. Whatever it is, just take that now and then slowly begin to make the way into Shavasana. So taking the legs out long, you can rest the hands by the sides of the body, getting a blanket, covering that over you, placing a pillow under your knees, just releases the lower back. This is your time to get cozy, your time to relax, recharge. And when we're ready to come back, just know that I will guide us back into that space. So once you're comfortable, just soften the gaze. Start to slow everything down. Begin to tap into the breath again. So just notice how the breath feels in the body right now. Where is the breath? How does it make you feel? And we begin to just scan the body a little bit, just noticing if there's any last little bits of tension or resistance or tightness. And consciously, actively, as you scan the body, say to yourself, I relax my shoulders, or I relax my chest, I relax my knees, whatever you feel still holding on. Give that part of the body permission to let go. Sometimes we're unaware of where we're holding tension. We can kind of become switched off from just habits and patterns of movement that just cause tension in the body. Happens to us all. So now's the opportunity to really tune in and notice, oh, I didn't realize that my shoulder always rises up. Right, actively I'm going to soften that shoulder down. I'm going to tense and then release. And with the breath, we're going to practice lengthening the exhale. So maybe you breathe in, just noticing the length of your inhale. Can you lengthen the exhale a little bit longer? Tapping into the parasympathetic nervous system now, that deep part of our healing system we have that rests, recharges. The whole body is unraveling like a ball of string. Imagine there's this tightly wound ball of string in the very center of your body. And with every exhale, it just loosens and softens. The thread begins to roll away. And we notice that same sensation happening in the body, the relaxing of the muscles, the tendons, the joints, the ligaments, unraveling just like a piece of thread, soft and easy. If you find your mind wanders in and out, just know that the mind is there, but we direct our attention to the breath and the sensation of the breath in the body and the sensations of our muscles relaxing, the skin relaxing, the whole body just completely relaxed here, supported by the ground beneath you. Easy breath in, easy breath out. This ball of string and thread that was once tightly wound is now loose and easy, supple and soft. My whole body is completely relaxed here on the ground beneath me. Just slowly start to deepen the breath, become aware of the space that surrounds you. Slowly coming back, whether it's through a movement Some stretching, a gentle yawn, maybe a swallowing through the mouth, maybe a sigh. And again, there's no rush here. Feel free to stay on your backs, or you're welcome to join in a seat together. But again, your practice, no expectations, no judgment, just listen to what feels good. And I just invite you to keep the gaze soft, to keep it inwards, and bring the palms of the hands together and just begin to create some friction between the palms. So really rub the hands together, really create some fire, some heat. Rub, 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 really rub it, feel that warmth. And then once you feel you've got that warmth, just place it over the eyes, over the face, and feel that warmth transfer down into the face. Maybe you just begin to gently massage, just gently rubbing the eyebrows, the eye sockets, just softly blinking the eyes open, taking in the light, maybe down through the jaw. What's really nice is to get the knuckles of your peace fingers start at the base of the chin and draw it up towards the ear. That's really nice. Kind of scooping across the jaw. And then maybe you go to the back of the neck and you just pull, bring your fingers to the base of your skull and just pull up with the hairline, stretching the back of the neck, and then gently onto the tracks down through to the chest. Just maybe stretching, bring the hands together, bow the head down. Thank you very much for practicing this morning.